Good morning. In this video I want to talk about hauling, and I'm going to use a tiny hauler and I'm going to use a small hauler, and I hope it helps those who still struggle a bit going into space, especially when carrying a bit of cargo. Now, while ships do come in all kind of shapes and sizes, so you see that there are bigger and smaller crafts. I want to talk about haulers, and I've got two lovely examples prepared for us here. Yeah, I'm getting better at this, but that's for another video. Yep, that works. Okay, good. Down, up, good. Ooh, works. So this is my tiny hauler, and that's something that more represents something that you may build while you're still in Sanctuary and whatever, and just slapped some space engines on it and are ready to go. In fact, I just recently slapped the engines on, so I haven't ever been in space with that one. I just now slapped the space engines on. You may notice that my stats are a bit low, and that is because I'm smuggling engines. So that's 145 tons there, and I'm going to try to get those into orbit. And the moment you are in orbit, that also means you could leave the planet, as a general thing. So what do those numbers even mean? First of all, if you click the first button here, you see the more general information like your mass and your elements. Over here on the cogwheel, you can switch from newtons to Gs and from meters per second to kilometers per hour. I like Gs and kilometers per hour. And with the Gs, you can pretty directly see if this thing is gonna fly. Do you have somewhere around 1G or more? That means you can take off, pretty much, yeah. Depending on other talents, you may need 1.5G to actually take off. Also depends on the planet. So your first trip from Sanctuary, try to have 2G. Try to have 2G if you want to take off Sanctuary. Brake force is just... Oh, that's space by the way right now. Maximum 0.89G. Yes, so that's not enough. If you want to take off Sanctuary, really try 2G of Atmo. This is Atmo here. The clouds for Atmo, the little planet for space. Try to have 2G if you want to leave Sanctuary, unless you already have some talents for the high altitude stuff, which you probably don't have. So try to go with 2G. Slightly below still works. Don't go below 1.5. Brake force is overrated. Max speed is completely pointless for hauling. Doesn't matter at all. Low altitude lift, as long as you are above 1G, you can actually, lift your craft up a little from the dirt and start moving. So no matter what, you need to have at least 1G. And if you have less than 1.5G, you still have to land like you walk in on X. So 2G is kind of the minimum there. If you have a bit more, sure makes landing easier, the actual final touchdown part there. High altitude lift is just how much wing power you have. 2G would be a good number to have. Again, that depends a bit on your skills. And for space here, I've got 1.16. It's more than 1, so you would assume once I'm in space and don't have to fight air resistance anymore, I've got more G than the bloody planet, because Alioth only has 1. Noob. I've got 1.16. So I'm stronger, I can leave. Yeah, no, not really, because you only have that number if you are high enough to actually fully be in space. For Alioth, that would be 670 meters. For Sanctuary, should be something around that as well. So don't trust that number too much. That only counts if you're really in open space, not because you just got out of atmosphere. There's still a bit of a zone where the space engines aren't fully on. Brake force, more than 1. Rest doesn't matter. So you see all my values are quite low there. Some of my values I told you need more. I said I'm going to carry 145 tons. I didn't say how. The moment you're still below 200, 300 tons, it actually does make a nice difference to just put one in your inventory. Just put one in here. because the first 20 tons in your nanopack are ignored. So it will add, if you are above 20 tons, it will add to some degree, but it will reduce. It will be less than if you had it in the normal container. So if you're quite sure you're not gonna die, it's a good idea to have the heaviest thing, or one of the heavy things in your actual inventory. Do remember though, if you die, that thing is gone. So well, I hope you can spare it. Or just carry a little less. You don't need to bring oxygen from Sanctuary to Alioth. We have enough here. It's fine. I can give you some. Good. With that out of the way, I'm going to take off with that one now and talk a bit about it. And after that, I'm going to use this one. So I've got 6 Atmo engines on that one, 6 Atmo Ls. So that's already quite the hauling power. Especially given that those are actually militaries, so more power, hooray! So I'm carrying 4.5 kilotons on that one into space, and I thought it will be very interesting to just do that without brakes. I'm using 2 L brakes on the whole craft, which means my brake force is 0.42 G. That's going to be a great landing, I'll tell you. By the way, I already recorded it. So I know how it ends. Well, off we go. So this is the this is pretty much taken off Sanctuary with your first little hauler. Only difference is this is not Sanctuary and this is my first hauler, but just size-wise, you get the idea. I was too lazy to actually move over to Sanctuary to show this and then come back. If you press X 3 times, it shows this lovely line, and I really like showing that. It gives me a good idea where I'm going, how I'm going there, and so on. Taken off now, I'm going 470 already, lovely. This is a hauler, so let's demonstrate what you shouldn't do. Do not just nose up and hope for the best. Because if you do this, it will work for some time, and then it will stop working. You see my speed is going down. I'm already only at 430, 420. Yeah. Losing speed, harder and harder. I'm not even at 2 kilometers, and I'm already only going to 80. This is not going to end well. So, I'll make sure that my craft is actually pointing in the direction that I am moving. Because if I was nosing up now, nothing would really happen. No. I'll need my wings, and for my wings to work, I'll need to be facing at least roughly in the direction I'm actually also moving. So now I'm trying to get the craft up again. Slight hint here, if you hold space, 3, 2, 1, whoop. If you hold space, the line will actually come up a good bit quicker, that red line. You will notice it more if you're actually flying yourself. I don't think it's that noticeable here. If I just, let me just fly straight for a moment here. Straight. Okay. No hands. You have a look over here where it shows the vertical and lateral throttle. And now I'm going to nose up a bit. You see the red line follows slowly, but then it kind of stops. And if I hold space, that red line is moving up even higher. It does cause a bit of drag, but your wings try to lift you even higher. Holding space is not just a thing for adjusting your hover or vertical booster height, it also actually does something for your wings. Okay, so what I want to do now is I want to have a good speed, whatever that means. I'm just going to aim for 700. I want to go 700, and that means if I'm below 700, I have to nose down. If I'm going too slow, then obviously I'm going too steep. So if I go less steep, as in more horizontal, more like this, if I go less steep, then I can actually have my speed. And as long as I have my speed, my wings are trying to lift me and everything is fine. So don't nose up dramatically if you're very heavy. Of course, if this craft was empty, no problem at all. If you have some pocket rocket or something like that, if you have some mini jet thing, then go ahead, nose up anywhere you want. But this is essentially a truck. It's a tiny truck, but it's a truck. So you're not on a racetrack, you just want to get that stuff into space, and then from there you keep on trucking. Don't try to fly this like it's a jet plane. If you want to have a craft that can carry a lot and fly like a jet plane, it means you just get a craft that can carry even more and only fill it half. And if you then want to carry more and still feel like a jet plane, get a craft that can carry even more, that can carry twice as much, and only fill it twice as much as the one before, so you're still half empty. That's just the way it is, you know. The emptier your hauler, the more you can fly like a jet plane. While I was talking, my speed actually went below 700. Altitude is still increasing, but not really that much, you see. Oh, I'm actually falling again now. So while I was talking about jet planes and trucks, I actually lost too much speed. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to pitch down a good bit and speed up the video. Oh, that was quick. Now I'm hitting 3,420 meters, and as you can see on the right side here, space thrust. Finally, the space thrust is increasing. Now you can also see that, you know, there's a bit of a yellow flame there, so my space engines activate. In fact, by now, I already have 50% more throttle than I had a few meters lower. My space engine's already half as strong. By the way, now I've finished the sentence, the space engines are now just as strong as the Atmo engines. And in a moment, the space engines will be twice as strong as the Atmo engines. And I'm also ramping up speed again. Hooray! As this craft is so small, it should be no problem to go like 1,300. Now the thing is, I first want to ramp up speed and then jump out. If I was holding up, then I wouldn't really ramp up speed. I would only slowly climb higher. If I do that, then I will be rather high, and I will be at a point where my wings can't actually do anything. So what I do is I stay at somewhere around 4,000 meters, where I still have at least a bit of air that would help me, would help my wings. And once I have that speed, I nose up a bit more radically, and that helped me to really punch through there. And if you look at the space engines now again, 1376, and now it's increasing again. Reason for that is I just went above 6,270 meters. Okay, this took very, very long. My arms are a tiny bit sore. And even though some of the distance I traveled can be explained by, you know, the fact that I explained how to stall. Good explanation there. I was traveling very far now just to go into space. If you want to go from Sanctuary to Alioth, I don't think you really care too much. Wait, how do I get back? If you want to move from Sanctuary to Alioth, I don't think you care too much about having to first wait for 2 minutes until you're actually spaceborne and then heading to Sanctuary. But if you only want to hop over to the market, which is 50 kilometers away, yeah, you get the idea. So carrying with so much cargo that it actually takes minutes to go into space is only worth it if your trip is long enough. If you want to do a short trip, then it would be nice to just know how much cargo your craft can actually carry. And one thing that really helps is put a little screen on your craft. Hear me out. Put a little screen on your craft, or sign, and just write on that screen how much you can carry. How much, I mean, you sometimes do use the craft, and then afterwards you know. And if you're taking notes, it really helps. So, especially if you have multiple different crafts, or if you only play once a week or something like that, then having a little screen that says, let's say, 500 tons, no. Uh, 300 tons, slow. 200 tons, works great. You know, if you have that written down, then it's very quick to just check how much you should carry. And it also means if you only do little market jumps, then only go to 200 tons. Because if you're heavier, just a few tons more suddenly mean that it takes so much longer to go into space. I've tested this with that craft earlier, and without putting that one space engine into my inventory to save a tiny bit on the mass, I'm actually unable to go into space at all. At least I was unable to manage it there earlier. Maybe if I had tried harder and more willed me into space, it would have worked. No, no. So this is really the limit of this craft. Landing is going to be fun. I think we take a short break for that. Hooray! I'm back. I already broke orbit a bit. I just decelerated a tiny bit, so I eventually lose some amount of altitude. Now, all this time traveling, I actually traveled once around the whole planet now. All of this traveling was done in orbit, and therefore without using any fuel. If you have a bit of a further journey to get your cargo from A to B, wherever that is, it actually is a good idea to go into orbit. If you want to travel more than, let's say, 50 kilometers, then it's already worth it to go into orbit. Obviously, if you like on my flight attempt here, if it takes a lot of time to actually go orbital, then don't do it for 50 kilometers. You get the idea. But it's just you don't need any fuel while you are in space, because you don't have to fight the evil air. Think about it. So, I'm at 10 kilometers altitude. I'm going to. I would really like to be below 1,000, well below 1,000, as I go into Atmo. Now, if I break too early, I will then just, fall vertically down. I don't want to do that. I would like to have as much horizontal speed still left as possible. But again, I would have actually liked to be well below 1,000 as I come in here. So apparently I'm braking too late. Good thing the craft is very, very light, so I'm just using more time to decelerate right now. And it doesn't even burn. Yeah, this was a very atypical landing, so I can already tell you that the landing with the other craft is gonna be more interesting. I think I'm actually gonna cut it in such a way that you now first see the landing with the other hauler and then the takeoff. Because yeah, this landing was just so bloody disappointing. Nah, no, I'm gonna cut the other landing indirectly, and then I'm gonna show you the takeoff. Yeah, that's a good idea. The final touchdown now here. I don't want to go down too steep. I don't have that much brake power, so I actually do want to come down softly, check for the hover engine to actually do something, and once the hover engine is active, I can still decelerate and come to a stop. As I now come to a stop, I hover a bit lower using C, and then I just leave. No landing gear on this one. Not really needed. Alright, about to land. Amount of air brakes, 2. $70 kilometers to target. I'm coming in a bit too high. I don't like it. Thing is, the flatter you are in orbit. If I was orbiting at, let's say, 7 kilometers now, then I would enter Atmo and still have a lot of horizontal speed, right? But that's not the case here. I'm at 16.6, so by the time I'm actually entering atmosphere, I'm not gonna go very horizontally. I'm not gonna move a lot along the surface. I'm actually, as you see there, I'm gonna drop down. I'm gonna be almost vertical. Hooray for that. It just makes it a tiny bit harder. Well, the other one would just have been a lot easier. Good. On the 5,000 meter mark, I would like to be traveling at about 600. So let's decelerate here. Just a brake check, snap, snap. Check how much I'm decelerating, not that much. Alright, I think I want to hold my brakes. Great, there's a mountain range there, meaning I have even less room to catch the craft before I smack into the ground. Won't be able to. There's no plan B in any way. I'm a bit. I'm still going 900, 830, 750. Okay, I was at 700 kilometers per hour as I punched through the 5,000. And my space brakes still work. Oh, I'm actually a bit too slow now. My space brakes now don't work anymore because I'm below 3420. So all I want to do now is pull up. That's it. You see my engines aren't even on. That engines wouldn't do anything right now. They would just push me down. And I've got plenty of speed for my wings to do something. Now that my engines would actually push me up, I can give a bit of throttle there. And lowest point is 190. Yeah. So that was it. Now I just, put in cruise control 930, because that's already it. It's over. That was all the fun. So now I don't really need the engines that much, as you can imagine. I mean, I want to decelerate anyway. There's already a few of my craft. I'm gonna move over there. Okay. Oh yeah, I don't have air brakes. Yeah. Whose clever idea was that? Probably. Yeah, I guess mine. Okay, I'm coming in like an airplane here. And I don't know if you could see that, I was holding space. So that my hover's activated a bit earlier. And I think I mentioned that before, it also gives you more wing lift. So now, I'm already in hovercraft mode here. This has nothing to do with flying. Yeah, now I'm just gonna move back. So, having such a low amount of air brakes is obviously inconvenient in regards to the actual touchdown at the very end. But when it comes to, not smacking into the ground, air brakes are just really not needed. Just this very last part here. Stopping where you actually want to stop. That's the issue. Okay, now let's not ramp up too much speed, otherwise I have the same issue again in reverse. My wings already give me a good amount of lift, so that hill there shouldn't be an issue. And wings together. And now I really slam the brakes again. But I eventually do want to decelerate and not smack into one of those crafts there. 180. Get the landing gear out for more air friction. Woohoo! Sir, could you maybe come to a stop anytime soon? No? No, not the Iron Man, not the Iron Man! No! Ah, oh! Oh! Okay, I don't want to know how much damage they would have done. For these, can I just turn around, give it a tiny bit of engine power there again in the opposite direction. You see, it is a bit stupid to really not have air brakes. It does work. Wait, it's not no air brakes. I have 2 of them. There they are, covering the Lumi. Got the Lumi in here, so it's brighter. If I turn off those lights, yep, that's all lights turned off now. And you see how it's still very bright. Even the stuff that I see outside is very bright. If I go over there, merp, it's dark. If I stand over here, everything is bright because I've got Lumi in the floor. Thank you, Deckard. So yeah, that is how to land with 2 air brakes while carrying, well, that 1 million fuel, 1.5 kilotons. That is. That's it. See you. Friendly reminder, if you are a new player and you would like to see all sizes of engines, hovers, vertical boosters, other engines, fuel tanks, you want to see all the sizes of them in comparison, you can VR to the gate library and see all of those elements there. I think I've got most of them covered by now, including the lolly containers. It's just quite nice to really see them in comparison to each other. That would be VR Gate Library. It's named after the rather nice display of operators and logic gates that I have over here. If you want to know what the NAND operator really does and test it, or if you want to see some applied examples here, go ahead, come over, visit the Gate Library via VR. Okay, one more time, because I totally didn't in between have to refuel, or didn't have a disconnect while trying this, and I'm open in the wilderness and have a tree in the bloody room here. 4.5 kilotons of cargo, and one thing I wanted to show is if you go to your... Those are going to stop in about 4 seconds. If you look at the high altitude lift, it will also show you your sustaination speed, and that is the amount of speed that you need to just travel and not lose altitude. So if I was slower than 421, I would slowly bleed altitude. Unless I, of course, pull up, which means I bleed even more altitude. Or I, of course, just accelerate. So 421 on this one would be the minimum for kind of normal traveling. Good, with that out of the way, let's accelerate. You see my acceleration is, it's arse. Yeah, okay, good. I want to first hit those 421. At least roughly, you know. And then I'll take off. Good thing I'm in the desert and I've got plenty of space. What the hell is that over there? Is that just trees? That's actually just trees. That's wood space over there. Now, I want to show you a few different ways of failing. One way of failing I already showed earlier, and that is the, actually this time first ramped up speed. Too much. I should have nosed up like this right from the start. First one is going up too much. This is a bit of a bad idea. You see how my speed just goes away. If I continue to nose up, this is going to be risky. You see how I'm not moving up anymore? I actually start falling now. So this here, you know, pointing my nose up, that's just not doing anything at all. I just fall now. So this would be a great time to actually nose in the direction that I'm traveling. And now I can use my wings to slowly recover. If you have that red line and you're already used to, you see I do that all the time. You're used to looking at the craft from the side. Then you do see what your angle is, what your stall angle is. And so my wings are pretty much aligned with that lovely red stripe here. So if the angle between that red stripe, which is just, you know, my forward direction, wonk, over there, if the angle of that and the angle of that, the red line, if the angle between those two lines is less than 45 degrees, then I don't stall. Depending on how you place your wings, if those are normal wing M, then it's actually 55 degree. So that means if I go like this, and that is now, that's pretty much a 45-degree angle between them, then I would be stalled, and therefore my wings are just inactive. Don't want to have that. You do want your craft to travel in the direction that it's actually facing. And since you can rather quickly change the direction you're facing, and you can't change that quickly the direction you're traveling in, it means please turn your craft accordingly. I mean, obviously, if I want to make a turn, then I do this, obviously. But especially while taking off or landing, make sure that you don't do any weird sudden movements with a heavy hauler, and look in the direction that you're traveling in anyway. Good. I'm currently traveling, despite these little shenanigans here, I'm currently traveling at 1,000, almost. Now, that means I can actually nose up a bit more. I want to travel at about 1,000. With this craft, I want to travel at about 1,000 while climbing. If I lose a significant amount of speed, that means I would actually want to nose down to have more speed. If I was trying to do this at 400, it just wouldn't work. I'll need the speed. The more the engines are just fighting the air resistance, which you can see over here on the side, the more my engines are busy fighting the air resistance, the less they can help me climb. And on the other way, of course, the more I try to have my engines push me up, the less they are able to fight the air, and that means I'm slowing down. So I'm now at I'm already at 3480, so my space engine already activates. You see how it's got some gentle glow there already. Now I want to ramp up more speed. If this is your main flight, there are always issues with the first time. You can't just slip in and out of Atmo. That won't really work that well. Also, depending on how big you are there's going to be a lot more friction. And a lot of friction leads to a good amount of wear and tear, and maybe some amount of rupture. You see a lot of red here right now. So it's quite possible that some stuff will be broken. But now I'm just going to go for one final push here to try to get in. And now I'm in space. I'm on 5,300 meters. The thing is, I'm already losing a good amount of momentum here. And now I've got to decide, do I want to have more speed to actually go more in an orbital way, or do I just nose up? In my case, I just want to try to keep on climbing, because if I do reach the 6,270 meters, it would mean that I suddenly have more power, and therefore can climb a lot easier. 6,270, oh my, I'm at 6,150. And I'm already... the climb is rather slow here. How was that? May I please have another 30 meters, another 20 meters? Whoa, another 10 meters. And now my space engine gets more power. It's 627. Oh, my space engine itself was actually not high enough. It's on the bottom of the craft. So you see how I'm actually losing altitude again now. At the same time though, I'm still gaining speed. Now of course, as I'm gaining speed, I'm not falling downwards, I'm falling sideways now. So I am getting more and more orbital. As in, wherever I'm falling right now, the round surface there is already not there anymore. And so yeah, the more speed I have, the less I will be falling. If I however just rectify the craft and only accelerate along the surface of the planet and therefore get more speed, I will have the issue that I'm not pushing the craft up anymore. So you gotta find some amount of balance there. I'm actually going for this. I've got 900 meters left before I started with the friction again. So now I'm gonna go like this. And yes, I have actually stopped falling. I'm climbing again. Hooray, I'm climbing. So now I'm feeling confident again to pitch down even more and to do more of that, going into orbit. And even though I'm pitching down so much and I've got far less force actually pushing me upwards, I am climbing. Great, the moment I say it, I start falling again. But yeah, so I'm very slowly falling right now. However, as I get faster and faster, that's gonna stop again in a moment. So yeah, I'm demonstrating how to get into orbit while carrying a bit too much for your craft. Would be a bit boring if I did this with like half cargo. No, we want to suffer a bit. I want to have some amount of pain here. Yep, okay. 150, 6.2. Now please look at the power here, 35, and now it starts climbing again. Quite a lot. That means now I can really lean forward. But I don't even want to climb that much. I'm actually pushing down now. I want a steady altitude. And the line is green. I press the middle mouse button, which just is the standard key for turning off engines. If you're on cruise control, it's the key for turning speed, setting speed to 0. Okay, just so you're aware. But if you're just flying in a normal way, middle mouse button is default key for turning off engines. And I am in orbit. That's quite boring, so let's land again. And friendly reminder, of course, right now I don't really have brakes. I still have only 2 L Atmo brakes. So this is gonna be fun. Actually, quick spacewalk. No, not spacewalk, but so I've got an empty inventory. I can't lose anything right now. So how about I just leave the pilot seat? I'm at 10 kilometers altitude. So now I notice, oh, why is that? That's actually because I was repairing something earlier, took away part of the floorboard and placed it again. If you want to repair something on the outside, please make sure that your inventory is empty and your res node is currently active. But if that's the case, then you can obviously go into build mode to hover around here. You can't repair in build mode, so obviously you do want to, at some point, again, carefully, enter build mode, exit build mode, walk around. Now, if you are like me and you sometimes tap the W button twice, because you just carefully want to nudge forward and then you accidentally go into a sprint, or if you're just stupid and fall, it's not that bad as long as you have the res node, because obviously, if I want to now look at the, let's try to look at the Atmo engines by climbing onto this wingtip, which is totally no problem. If I nudge a bit more to the left, I think I should be able to see them. If I... Oh, no. False respawn. Welcome back to the craft, still in motion. It has lost some speed, though. So obviously, I do now want to get in, check again, how am I moving, what's going on here, what's my altitude, what's my speed, why is my landing gear out? But at the end of the day, if you fall out while you are in orbit, it's not that much of a disaster. If you have your res node active, and if you remember to not have anything in your inventory. Alright, lovely. Let's decelerate here and enter orbit. No, Atmo, I mean. And on this craft, I already know I want to definitely be below 1,000 as I go below 5,000 meters altitude. I would actually rather have even less speed. And as I only have 2 air brakes, it would be a good idea if, I was more like in the 500 area. Currently, I still have a good amount of horizontal speed, so if I brake now, I'll take away mostly horizontal speed. If I brake later, I'm taking away a larger degree of the vertical speed. So if you do orbit re-entry, it's actually a good idea to start braking late. However, braking late may mean you're not braking enough. So, try to find the balance between those two. Okay, I'm currently at 600. 5,000 meters high, 600 speed. There's not a lot of air going on right now that would actually be overly helpful, so I keep my 500 speed. Now I can't use my brakes anymore anyway. I mean, I still have my air brakes, but my space brakes don't work anymore, as you may have realized by now I don't have that much air brake power. So I nose up a good bit. Engines wouldn't really do too much right now. Now that I start nosing up again without being stalled, I can use my engines. And lowest point here was now 667. So I mean, would have been slightly painful if there had been a high mountain there, but yeah, flat desert, no problem. If there's a lake, even less of a problem. So what I want to do now is, of course, take off straight away again, because I'm slightly away from my base. So let's do it again. In what stupid way could we do it this time? Oh yeah. that's a lovely one. First of all, if you see water, it means that the ground is extra low. And extra low ground is obviously quite nice for landing if it's a bit critical. Also, it's usually flat, you know. Lakes are quite flat. So that's nice. I'm already decelerating. You see my deceleration, I'm losing 10 kilometers per hour per tick there. So yeah, it's almost like I don't have a lot of air brakes on this. Now I see that hill and I don't like it. At least I don't want to land in any particular place. Where do I land? Oh yeah, I'm at low sustaination speed now. So I can't just glide anymore. And if I nose up now to get some altitude, I'm just bleeding a lot of speed. That's a lovely flat piece of desert. It looks absolutely like home, so let's go there. That hill is going to be an issue. Whoa! Okay, now it's flat. Flat, please. Can the ground please fully load? I've already got my landing gear. I'm still going 170. Oh, if I scrape the ground now, that's gonna hurt. Okay. I don't want to come to a full stop anyway. So, one thing I see people do, and that is also a standard setting for one of those huts. Full brakes, engines on full power, nose up. Actually, full brakes is not that powerful in my case. Nose up and then go. And then go. This is definitely even worse than the normal takeoff. Why would you do that? Unless, of course, your craft is pretty much empty. Yeah, I mean, if you have loads and loads of power and very empty containers, it's not actually an issue. And if you look at my speed, I'm currently losing speed already. I'm not going to test stall now. I actually want to go up there again. So I'm gonna nose up a good bit, slightly more than I would usually do, but not completely skywards. You know, just kind of up-ish there. And I'm just gonna go like this and not care about anything. I'm just gonna stay like this and wait. I mean, hey, look, I'm accelerating. I'm gaining altitude. Everything is fine. I'm sure it's gonna totally work. It won't work. It's totally gonna work. Let's just wait. There, I'm still accelerating, climbing nicely. Just nose up, like I'm British. Speed already going down by now. Oh no. Going at 550 there. Remember, 421 is my sustaination speed. Don't want to go below that. And as the atmosphere is quite thin here, it's actually even lower. You see how the red line is going down? Meaning, I'm not climbing as rapidly. The climb is decreased and decreased. I am at 3,000 meters. I only need 3,420, of course. I'm at 3,000 meters, and it already doesn't look that great anymore. And I start falling. Yeah. Remember what I said about I want to have speed? Now you know why. No speed, no fun. That's Holly. It's called slow boating, but not that slow, you know. So, now I'm horizontal. That means I'm ramping up speed again. I'm still losing altitude. I don't care. There's no mountain. No mountain in front of me. I totally knew that. Okay, I'm going 800, 815. Now I climb again, and I climb slowly and carefully, and I try to have 900 speed. I want to have twice my sustentation speed, just to be on the safe side. So, 900 is my goal that I want to have, meaning I can currently nose up a bit more. I mean, the higher I am, the less air friction I have, the less fuel I need. So, yeah, sure, I do want to gain altitude, but we don't want to overdo it. Don't overdo it. I'm still losing speed, so I'm nosing down a bit. I'm still losing speed, so I'm nosing down a bit. Let me have a look at that. I'm still losing speed. I'm nosing down a bit. Hey, if I want to be above 900, that means nosing down quite a lot. 915, 914. I'm losing speed very slowly, but then again, got to be above 3420 in a moment, and then everything is fine anyway. So I've got my 900 speed. I'm still climbing right now. And the good thing is, I'm climbing very slowly and steadily. So it's not like I'm jumping above 3420, space engine activate, but by the time it ramps up, I'm already down. No, I don't want to do that. So we're flying very nice and steady here at the 3.5 kilometers. A space engine activates to see how it's getting more and more power, almost half as strong as my whole Atmos thrust already. So now I nose down a bit. I don't want to climb too much. Actually losing altitude right now. Hey, stop it with the losing altitude. We want to stay above 3420. Above 3420 actually. But no, let's stay above 35. Where are we? 36. Lovely. Get some speed going here. And now we want to go up. Getting a bit painful here. So let's use that still somewhat thick Atmo. The 4% here. Let's use that and my wings and all of that speed to ramp up a huge amount of speed upwards. Huge, I said. We had 5,000. I'm actually going to try what I did there earlier, but even more extreme. Now that I don't have air resistance anymore, just want to go fully up to be above 6270. Maybe it works this time. We are above 6270. Now space engine rams up. I get more and more and more power. Now remember the part where that stupid planet only has 1G. Actually by now only 0.9G. 0.9G. I've got 116. So yes, I'm very safely in space now. I'm still climbing, and now I'm going to do the part where I'm going orbital, as in now I want to travel along. It really depends on how much you're carrying. If I was only carrying 3 kilotons or whatever, it would be a lot easier. And that means I wouldn't have to look at the numbers so precisely and so on. I'm overdoing it here right now. I'm doing it a bit more the hard way. I'm going a bit more into detail. I do want to struggle a bit, so you see what it is like to struggle that much. Also, wait, no, I don't have to. If I want to go exactly on the other side of the planet, it doesn't matter which direction I'm moving. I just want to be fast while doing it. Alright, one more time with feeling. Where am I? Yes, good. Totally concentrating. Was there 70 kilometers out? Oh, shit. I broke it. Never mind. Okay, landing. Again, I've got the stuff, and I don't have that stuff. I mentioned it 4 times already. 5? So, how do I do this again? I'm currently 3,000, that's too much. I want to be well below 1,000 kilometers per hour. So, actually 700, 600 would be nicer. And when I go at the altitude of about 5 kilometers. Yes, that's what I was trying to say. I'm at my 1700 right now at 13 kilometers. I'm dropping quite. Oh, no. You see, the more horizontal speed I have, the easier. Oh my. Can we decelerate a bit more, please? Hmm. Okay, going 1,000. Going 1,100 already again. Yeah. Damn it, planet! Stop pulling me in. 800. 900. 800. 800, 5,000 meters. 660, 650. Okay, good. 600. I can barely decelerate anymore because now my space brakes don't work anymore. I'm below 3420, so no space brakes for Little Gotcha. And my air brakes, as you may remember, don't really exist. So I'm pulling up, and now that I'm actually nosing up, I can use my engines again to push me up higher. That hill comes dangerously close. But no, I'm fine. Lowest point was somewhere around 300 meters, I guess. So again, if I had been in some kind of mountain range, this would have been an issue. Cruise control to 1000, and I think you don't need to see me find a parking spot yet another time. Oh, wait. One more thing. Water. You know that stuff there, that stuff there in front of me. One thing about water is not only that it's flat, but also if you dip into the water a bit, it doesn't hurt. So, if you are coming down and you are heavy, and then can I dip into the water a bit? And you dip into the water a bit, it doesn't matter. And your hovers actually do work while they are, not only while they are above the water surface, but even you're in the water. So if you do have a deep lake close to you, and you think the landing is going to be a bit risky, do the touchdown above the water, and then as you are safe, as you are already only hovering and not really flying anymore, then you can still turn around and go wherever you actually wanted, or you can actually land on the bottom of the lake, on the side of the lake, unload some of the cargo, and then put the craft where it really belongs. I'm back. Oh, is this a moment where I can plug my showroom and all the stuff that I'm selling?